8:30. Follows into order.
The speaker's gonna have a fun time breaking some ties tonight.
Crazy. Wait, is it equal? Wait, is it equal amount?
Yep.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
Bro,
hello,
that's not
guys.
you.
That's crazy.
Bro, Kyle. I was
Here.
I was online as as like a sector response team for a different group. That's my user for my avatar in Majigi. Let me change that. Forward you.
This
What?
is the moment the speaker should be scared on what he votes for and break ties for.
Moment. What are you trying to say?
Scared, bro. I try to vacate. I mean, you can't vacate the chair, but what are you trying to do? This
What am I
speaker
gonna
should be
do?
scared. Why should he be scared?
He has to break
Why
many,
should he
many
be
ties
scared, bro? There's
tonight.
nothing to be scared about.
Oh boy, okay.
Nothing to be scared about.
Decision control polling just now.
Decisions control polling, he says. There's no space for all this green cheese.
I've read all the bills.
You what?
I've read all the bills.
Even the new ones?
Oh, wait, we have space in here.
You mean the other 70 that were added? Yes.
Yes, we understand. You can call me and Representative Cookchat. Yo, my boy, it is.
Shh. We gavelled in.
Bro, we stayed up till 4. We stayed up till like 4 a.m. doing bills, bro.
I can tell.
Speaker, your mic's muted. Well, I don't know who gavelled in. All right, bro. I swear.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, you can hear you. Speak.
Yeah.
My shit is like killing itself right now.
Oh, okay. You're a little too loud. I need to turn you down.
Yeah, he's a little bit too.
Yeah.
The house will be in order.
Oh my god.
I have a gavel IRL. Makes it a lot funner.
Jeez, is your mic in your ass?
Does anybody want to do the prayer? Because I don't have anybody prepared to do the prayer. Or are we going to waive it?
I was awaiting it.
Subject to the call to the chair. The prayer has been waived. Pursuant to Clause 1 of Rule 1 on the Journal of the last day's proceedings is approved thereof. I did the gavel. I don't have anybody prepared to do the pledge, so I'll just do it.
If you want to, speaker, I can do it.
Who is that?
Gentleman from North or South Carolina.
It's not north.
The Pledge of Allegiance will be offered by the gentleman from the state of South Carolina, Mr. Underwood.
If we can all stand.
We're standing.
I pledge allegiance to the
flag
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for them all.
For them all.
For them all. Not too sure if this should be said, but the chair will receive a message. We don't have a sergeant at arms, so it just says, Mr. Speaker, a message from the President of the United States. Bow. Just get that, retrieve that message. Here. The message reads, the White House, Office of the President, Washington, D.C., 2500, President of the United States. From Virgil Rickles, President of the United States. To the Speaker of the House and the Senate Majority Leader, subject, of the Union, State of the Union. Dear Speaker Krennic and Leader Reagan, I am writing this letter to ask you two to write a concurrent resolution to allow me to address a joint session of Congress to deliver a State of the Union. Signed, Virgil Rickles, President of the United States.
No worries.
Doing all this shit by alone. Pursuant to the order of the House of December 23rd, 2017, the Chair will now recognize members from lists submitted by the majority and minority leaders for morning hour debate. The Chair will now alternate recognition between the parties, with time equally allocated between the parties. Each member, other than the majority and minority leaders and whips, but no event shall debate continue beyond, say, 9 o'clock. The Chair recognizes the gentleman. Do we have anybody that wants to seek recognition?
No.
Any for morning hour debate?
You do.
Does anybody want to be recognized for morning hour debate?
Mr. Speaker,
The gentleman from New York.
I would like to seek recognition.
The gentleman from New York, 4th Congressional District, is recognized for a total of 10 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In light of recent events that President Donald Trump resigned, which is a real shame, even though we disagree a lot, the former president suddenly resigned, and I was shocked when I heard the news, and this just comes to show that Republicans are not ready to lead. They're not ready to lead. And us House Democrats will work together. Okay? We're going to work together to oppose the death penalty. Alright? Promote legal immigration. And promote liberalism. This Congress has been kind of crazy, because recently we had a speaker who stepped down, or not stepped down, who was removed. His name was, of course, Ronald McConnell. And I don't know if anyone's going to say that this house is getting any better. I'm not trying to complain, but this house has been going slow, like a snail. In fact, that's instead of being called a do-nothing Congress, it should be called a slow snail Congress. Because whenever we have a session, there's so much awkward pauses in between motions. So many awkward pauses in between speeches. That just frustrates me to my core. How can a slow snail Congress provide for the American people? And as we speak right now, the debt ceiling it's in a crisis right now. And the people are protesting about this. And yet we are a slow snail Congress with no progress getting done. This is a shame and shows that House Republicans are a failure.
Wow.
And I would like to announce that one of my bills, the death penalty restriction bill, has been added to the agenda because I am doing this in respect to my father. He actually opposed the death penalty when he was governor of New York. His name was Mario Cuomo. May he rest in peace. He tragically died in 2015, near January. It's very sad. And I would like to honor his legacy by continuing his idea of opposing the death penalty. And that's about it. So, Mr. Speaker, I hereby yield the remainder of my time. Thank you.
The gentleman yields. Does anybody else seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, I seek recognition.
Was that Madam Hookstrutton?
No, that was the minority whip.
The minority whip? Okay. The gentleman from the 5th Congressional District of South Carolina is hereby recognized for a time of 10 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, although I do not think I will be taking 10 minutes. I would like to first address to the Congress that, yes, there is a issue. We are seeing protests here at the Capitol about the tax revenues, and we have an issue coming January 1st that we have to address. But as I do respect that Leader Dick Cheney has proposed a tax reform bill that I'm willing to support to help aid this ongoing crisis. But as a co-sponsor of the death penalty restriction bill, this is not to get rid of it completely, but to focus on the importance of the death penalty and not give it freewillingly to governors and to the state, because it cannot be used as it's been proven abused by many. I yield my time back to the speaker. Thank you.
The gentleman yields. Does anybody else seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker.
The gentleman from Texas is recognized for a period of 10 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker and my fellow colleagues, it's good to see everyone tonight as we observe this special 14th and Sunday day. Today marks the first session and beginning of the 115th Congress. It's the start of a new chapter in the grand history of this chamber. A moment for renewal, reflection, and rededication to the American people. For those going through this process for the first time, days like this can seem overwhelming, almost like the first day of school. But beneath all of the celebrations and receptions, a solemn truth permeates everything we do today. We are here because the American people have entrusted us to represent their needs in this great body. So today is historic for many reasons. First, let me congratulate all my colleagues from both sides of the MA who have made it this far. They've won their election. They've won their respective leadership positions in their party. I commend members of the House for this immense honor, and I challenge each and every one of you and as a friend and colleague not to let this opportunity go to waste. I will challenge myself for that as well. If both sides are willing to come, if both sides are willing to give it the good faith and effort, I'm optimistic we can be far more successful than many may think. I hope that Senate leadership can find a way to work with us in a productive way this Congress. House Republicans are ready to the other and across the Capitol to accomplish big things that will benefit all Americans. So to close, Mr. Speaker, After everything we've accomplished over the last Congress and the last 2 years, America is stronger, healthier, and better prepared for the future, thanks to the House working together. And we must continue. If Democrats are willing to work with us in the new year, they will be met with an open hand. If they are willing to come to the table, we'll sit right down and do the difficult work of legislating for the people. And if they're willing to set their sights on making our country better, there's no reason why the success of the last Congress in the last 2 years needs to end today. There's much to be thankful for in the 114th Congress. There's much to be hopeful for in the 115th Congress. Let us, therefore, begin to work anew, mindful of the challenges to come, but determined without ceasing to reward the trust the American people have laid upon us. I yield the floor.
The gentleman yields.
Mr.
Anybody
Speaker.
else? The gentleman from Montana, it's like congressional district.
It's the gentlewoman from Missouri.
Missouri? Okay. Gentlewoman from Missouri, 5th Congressional District, is recognized for a period of 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Fellow colleagues, fellow constituents, fellow Republicans. First off, I'd like to say, Mr. Speaker, that we are not a slow snail Congress. Simply, the minority leader has not proposed any bills that I've seen. The minority leader says Republicans are not ready to lead. Simply, we have a Republican president who I think is doing an excellent job. We have an active Republican vice president who is appointing senators to vacancies in the Senate. Simply, the Democratic National Committee is a failure with barely anyone on it but secretaries. We have the Democratic House Caucus who can barely function with just 2 active people in this chamber. Simply, I am glad that the minority whip is willing to work with the majority leader on the crisis of the debt ceiling currently happening. Simply, Republicans are more than ready to lead not just the House, not just the Senate, but ready to lead the nation where the American people put us. Simply, as the majority leader stated, within goals, we have reached the most bills that any Congress has, maybe, within the previous, prior to this. Real Republicans stay up till 4 a.m. working on legislation and not wasting any taxpayer money that we use in Congress. Simply, Republicans are more than ready to work, and we are not a slow snail Congress. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield.
Gentleman yields.
Mr. Speaker,
Speaker.
I ask to be recognized.
I don't know who said that first.
I was expected.
I'm just gonna go with the leader. The gentleman from the state of New York, 4th Congressional District, is recognized for, I think it's like 4 minutes.
If this is not a slow snail Congress, then explain to me why the Speaker and other people like him have long pauses during motions and are not really good at progress. I mean, progress that benefits the American people. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I would like to motion that we move into a period of legislative business, and I yield.
I object. I ask to be recognized by the chair.
Okay. Okay, do we vote on the? I think we vote on the objection.
I withdraw my motion.
Withdraw your motion. The gentleman from the state of South Carolina's 5th Congressional District is recognized for a period of 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to urge my constituents on both aisles to stop attacking each other and stop coming to the floor with assumptions because both sides of the aisles have presented bills. I urge the chair of the House Republican Conference that before she speaks, she should look at details. Because if she looks at the submission to House clerks, she can see that both I and the minority leader have submitted bills. These personal attacks do not go well, especially against the DNC, as the DNC has done nothing towards the Republican chair, House chair. But with that, I say we continue the work of the people rather than personal attacks, and we focus on getting the debt ceiling solved, and we focus on getting these bills solved, because as many people have said, both sides of the aisles have submitted bills, and we have a lot of bills to get passed. I yield my time.
Mr. Speaker,
The gentleman from Texas.
I motion to enter legislative business.
The question.
Second.
I second.
A second.
You listen, let me fucking fit the thing now. With a sufficient second, we
We're
should
gonna
move
be
to
sitting here-
legislative business.
Mr. Speaker,
We're about to be sitting here for 5 hours, bro.
Mr. Speaker,
The gentleman from Texas.
I motion that the House begin immediate consideration of House Resolution and the agenda.
Repeat that.
I motion the House begin immediate consideration of HR 0150 submitted earlier today.
Is that 0118?
Someone told me we're doing 50 to 76. Alright, I guess it's not according to us.
House agenda.
House agenda.
Like a House agenda.
We're gonna save the rest of that for next week because sorry,
Where we
but
stop?
they submitted
Where
it
we-
too late.
We're not doing 102 bills in one session.
Okay, so are we doing 119 to 147, and we're saving
We're doing-
150 to 1?
We're doing 118 all the way through the amendment.
And what? Okay, which one's the amendment?
Just look at congressional updates and scroll up. I apologize. Okay. The motion to consider was put up, correct?
Yes.
Without objection, so ordered. We will begin with House Resolution 0118. The clerk will report the bill by title. In the absence of the clerk, I will do so. th Congress. That's not supposed to be first session. House Bill 0118 in the United States House of Representatives, December 21st, 2017. It's supposed to be 2017. Mr. Underwood, Mr. Cuomo introduced the following bill, which was read once and referred to the Committee on Energy, Commerce, Education, Health, Labor, Transportation, and Infrastructure Committee. An act to amend certain laws relating to disaster recovery and relief with respect to implications of building codes and for other purposes. Be enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America in Congress assembled. Okay. Do we have a motion to vote?
You just want to say that? Mr. Speaker,
The gentleman from Texas.
I motion the House. I motion to enter a period of voting.
I second.
Question that's- With a sufficient second, the House will move into a period of voting on House Bill 0118. All in favor say aye.
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 All
Aye.
opposed, nay. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The House Resolution 0118 will be referred to the Senate for further consideration. Next on the agenda.
Mr. Speaker.
Say that again.
Mr. Speaker.
The gentleman from New York.
I motion that the House take up H.R. 0119 and ask for its immediate consideration.
You guys not understand that I make the motion?
Without objection, so ordered. That is HR. It's House Resolution 0119. Correct. The right of appointment, or the writ of appointment.
Correct.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will report the bill, or the resolution by title. 115th Congress, first session, U.S. House of Representatives, House Resolution 0119, December 21st, 2017. Mr. Alzuris of Pennsylvania introduced the following resolution, which was referred to the House floor. Should have said Mr. Krennic, but right of appointment. To appoint an individual to serve in the House of Representatives. Resolved by the House of Representatives and Congress assembled, this resolution will go into effect upon passage. We have a motion to vote.
Mr. Speaker.
I don't know who said that first. Repeat it.
Majority Leader.
Majority Leader.
You are voting.
The gentleman from Texas.
I motion to enter a period of voting.
Do we have a sufficient second?
Mr. Speaker, I second.
Exactly.
I second.
With a sufficient second, we shall move into a period of voting.
The
clerk will-
Put in the white chocolate. Make it start.
Oh, God. All in favor say aye.
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 I don't know, is writ of appointment roll call?
That's a voice vote. Yeah, that's a roll call. You can read the roll. I'm still trying to get to the game.
Is that a parliamentarian?
Yeah,
Or let's
I'm here. Yeah.
Alright.
He'd do this better than I could ever do. But yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and read the roll for me because I'm still trying to waddle my way to the chamber.
I know it's so slow.
They need to put Sprint in the game. Cough, cough, rat.
For real.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. Representative Cheney.
Okay.
Repeat that. Aye, nay, or abstain.
Aye.
Representative Cuomo.
Aye.
Aye. Representative Ellington.
He's not present.
Abstain.
That's the next one.
Representative Hooks. Side. God, I get this wrong.
Stratton.
Stratton. Hook Stratton.
Aye.
Sure. Representative Krennic. Aye. Representative McCarthy. Abstain. Representative Underwood.
Aye.
With the ayes being 1, 2, 3, 5, the abstains being 2 or no votes. Actually, no. It's 5 with the ayes being 5, the nays being 0, the abstains or no votes being 2. The resolution is agreed upon.
Mr. Speaker,
Yes, it's the minority leader. Minority leader.
I motion the House take up HR 0120 and ask for its immediate consideration.
Is there any objections to that motion? Without objection, so ordered. We will now come into immediate consideration of HR House Resolution 0120.
I said aye.
All right, I can read. I can read now.
Good.
Alright.
The parliamentarian will record the
Work, yeah. Alright. House Resolution 120, Mr. Alzaris of Pennsylvania introduced the following resolution, which was referred to the House for a writ of appointment to appoint individuals to serve in the House of Representatives. Section 3, appointment. Upon passage of the resolution, the following individuals shall fill the vacant seat of the House of Representatives until expiration of 1/15th House of Representatives term. Benjamin Kennedy, to fill the vacant seat and represent Illinois' 1st congressional district as a Democrat.
It's we're on 120, not 121.
Yep, that's what. Oh, that's 121. No, crap. My fault. Yeah, he said 120. I thought.
Yeah.
Why are there 2?
I see 1 on there.
120 and 121 are both the same. Okay. Let's just vote on one of them.
Okay. I'll just count it 120, so that's 21. Alright, there you go.
Mr. Speaker,
The gentleman from the state of Texas.
a motion to interfere with voting.
I
With a
second.
sufficient second. With a sufficient
Mr.
second,
Speaker,
the clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Cheney.
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Cuomo.
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Ellington. Mr. Ellington. Ms. Hookstratton.
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Krennic.
Aye.
Mr. McCarthy. Mr. McCarthy. Mr. Underwood.
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Speaker, the votes being 4 ayes, 0 nays, and 1 no votes, the resolution passes.
That was Benjamin Kennedy.
Yep.
Mr. Speaker,
The gentleman from the state of Texas.
I motion to enter immediate consideration of House Resolution 122 submitted earlier today.
Yep, 122.
122.
God. Okay, House Resolution 122. Are you asking for consideration? I just want to make that clear.
Yes.
Do we have any objections to that motion?
Mr. Speaker, I ask to be recognized.
Are you asking for motion to debate?
Yes, please.
Do we have a sufficient second to open a period of debate?
I second.
With a sufficient second, we shall enter a period of debate. The gentleman from South Carolina is recognized for a period of 10 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As we read this bill, I would like to encourage my constituents on both sides not to judge who wrote it, but the benefits for American citizens. The brutality minority citizens see every day from the justice system. I am a strong advocate for justice reform, and this is the first step towards it. So I urge both sides to vote yes and pass this bill to send it to the Senate, and we can work it from there. This is not going to be the only bill we see to step towards criminal justice reform. It's needed in America, and the House Democrat caucus is here to combat and advocate for criminal justice reform. I yield my time to the chair. Thank you.
Mr.
Does anybody-
Speaker,
The gentleman from New York is recognized for a period of 10 minutes.
considering that this is my bill I proposed, the Death Penalty Restrictions Act, I would like to say a few things. And of course, like the gentleman said, this isn't gonna like ban the death penalty. This is to restrict, basically just to make it not harsh and to, well, essentially, you should think it like this. Many people in this country want to expand the death penalty. Like, they want to include people like drug dealers, which is absolutely stupid. Because first of all, the death penalty should be used on people who are afraid to die. That's what it's for. And it's also for people who commit serious crimes. But drug dealers, on the other hand, are not afraid to die. Because if you think about it, they're already killing each other on the streets by the hundreds. With like drive-bys, gang shootings. And we the people expect that they are going to be afraid of the electric chair or afraid of lethal injection? No. The death penalty doesn't mean anything unless you use it on people who are afraid to die. And my father, who was a strong opponent of the death penalty, he talked to me every day about how the death penalty was a failure in the justice system. And this was before he passed away in 2015, sadly. And I'd like to use this bill to honor him and honor his ideas and honor the people who are affected by this unjust justice system. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I yield the remainder of my time.
The gentleman yields. Does anybody seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker.
Who was that? It was Underwood?
Oh, Cheney.
Cheney? Okay. The gentleman from the state of Texas is recognized for a period up to 10 minutes.
My fellow colleagues, my constituents on the other side of the aisle say that drug dealers are not serious criminals. Well, the two key words in drug dealers is drug dealers. They're out here dealing drugs like fentanyl. Fentanyl is one of the most deadliest drugs in the United States. And yet, the more they produce it and send it out, the more innocent children pass away. Our children are the next generation of these United States. The more we lose, the less likely this country will go. They better. And so, I encourage all of my constituents to to read this bill carefully, very, very carefully. It is very vague. I give the floor.
Mr. Speaker,
Who was that?
Mr. Speaker,
The gentleman from New York is recognized for a period of 4 minutes.
thank you, Mr. Speaker. If the majority leader on your side would just understand this, and I mean this, understand this, is that we are not talking about fentanyl. We are talking about people in the interstate. Like I said, with the drive-bys and the gang shootings, this has nothing to do with like fentanyl from the southern border. If he would just get that in his head. This is a common sense issue that many minorities are facing. They are facing an unjust system of harsh sentences like death sentences. It doesn't. The majority leader needs to tell the difference between the drug dealers of the interstate and the drug dealers of the southern border. But instead, he's basically combining them together in order to mislead his base and twist the truth. And quite frankly, it's bad. It's really bad. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I yield.
Mr. Speaker, may I be
Mr.
recognized?
Speaker, I take recognition.
I believe it was the whip first. The gentleman from South Carolina is recognized for a period of 5 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To put it a nicer way for the other side of the aisle, this bill is quite vague, but it could have more detail. But to be fair, we could work together to create a stronger bill rather than tearing the bills apart. This bill is to once again step forward to criminal justice reform. We aren't quite necessarily talking about fentanyl here. We're talking about state governors who want to impose the death penalty for marijuana, for psychedelics such as ketamine therapy, and it's absurd. People have the medical privacy, people have their medical rights, and if it's medically allowed, then federally, then states shouldn't try to challenge it. This bill is to protect those people who are currently being attacked, and to protect my constituents, because I know South Carolina currently has an issue where their state police are combating city police because city ordinance allow marijuana up to a certain amount, but the state don't. So that's an ongoing battle, and this bill is to help prevent that. So I urge both sides to work with us here and to pass this bill, and to once again, I ask nicely that we work together and to pass this bill. Thank you. I yield my time.
Mr. Speaker,
The gentlewoman from the state of
Missouri.
Missouri is recognized for a period of 10 minutes. Or 5 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, simply, the other side of the aisle is getting it wrong. We are talking about all types of drugs, from fentanyl to marijuana, anything, you name it. Because it is not just the southern border where fentanyl is located at, or marijuana. From drug dealer to drug dealer, simply it is traveled through the entire United States. Sometimes from the United States to Canada to Mexico. Obviously, Mexico has a lot, which then leads to a chain reaction within the Americas. So, why should we pose restrictions if they are not killers? Simply, they are killers. Just like the majority leader said, fentanyl can kill children. Anyone, basically, if they took it. Many people die. Millions of people die. Every single year. So why should we impose restrictions if those drugs can sometimes kill those people? Or maybe people are drugged with those drugs. So, maybe we should not have restrictions. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield.
Mr. Speaker.
Who was that again?
Mr. Speaker.
I'd like to remind the House that that per House rules, you are capped at two per session, or no, two per God damn it, two per session. I'm just gonna go with that. But does anybody want to else seek recognition? Because I know there's a few that still have one last rotation.
Mr. Speaker, I
Change.
motion we move on to voting on this.
Mr. Speaker.
We've got to end debate first.
I was going to do that. Mr. Speaker,
The gentleman from Texas.
I motion we end the debate period and head into the legislative. Head back into legislative session.
Voting.
I
Or no. Vote motion. A motion to vote.
I second.
With a sufficient second, we shall move on to a period of
We're all
voting. The clerk will call the roll.
That's an A or nay vote, and then after that, someone can request a roll call, and then I'll do it if
All
someone
in
does.
favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, nay.
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 Okay.
In the opinion of the chair, the nays have it.
I'll request roll call.
Um,
Oh dear.
here we go.
Without objection, so
Mr. Cheney,
Abstain.
abstain. Mr. Cuomo,
Aye.
aye. Mr. Ellington, Mr. Ellington, no vote. Ms. Hookstrom, Ms. Hookstrom. All right, we'll come back. Mr. Krennic.
nay.
Mr. Krennic. Nay. Mr. McCarthy. No vote. Mr. Underwood.
Aye.
Aye. All right, and then Miss Hookstrom. She absent or Miss Hookstrom. There's no response. That's a no vote too. So we have.
Nay.
Oh, that's a nay. Okay. Are there any other members that want to change their votes?
I'd like to change my vote.
What would you like to change your vote to?
Nay.
It's a nay. All right, so that's a nay. Mr. Speaker, with the A's being 2, the nays being 3, and 2 no votes, the bill or the resolution does not pass.
Mr. Speaker,
The gentleman from New York.
I motion to reconsider.
I object.
I object.
The gentleman from South Carolina will state his objection.
We have done both roll call and preceding votes. I say that the vote is fair. We move on to the next bill, and we try again the next time together on a stronger bill.
Mr. Speaker.
I think we should vote on the objection.
Up to you. That's up to the chair for that. If you want to vote on it or not.
The House will vote on the objection from the gentleman from South Carolina. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Was that an aye, Mr. Cheney?
No.
All in favor, say aye. This is to the objection.
Aye.
To support the... Here, let me just clarify. To support the objection, you say aye. To oppose the objection and move on to... To support, that means that we are assisting the objection, and then we will continue on. If you say nay, then we'll go back into reconsidering. Just making that clear. So, go, proceed.
All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, nay.
Nay.
In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and the objection will be honored or entertained. Do we have a motion to? Proceed?
Mr. Speaker.
The gentleman from South Carolina.
Oh.
Motion to what?
I motion we consider HR 12 or HR Bill 123 10123.
Mr. Speaker, I have something to say.
Do we have a sufficient set? Without objection, so ordered. We will move on to considering HR.
Before we move
HR
on,
0123. The clerk will report the bill by title.
Okay. HR or House Resolution 123 to amend Title 18 United States Code to provide a means by which non-residents of the estate whose residents may carry concealed firearms may also do so in the same state. In the House of Representatives, Mr. Cheney for himself introduced the following bill, which was referred to the Committee on Judiciary.
Mr. Speaker.
The gentleman from Texas, I think.
I'm going to enter.
Re-say that?
I'm motioning into a period of voting.
Do we have a sufficient second?
Mr. Speaker, a second.
With a sufficient second, we shall move into a period of voting. Let's see. All in favor, say aye. Let's redo that. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, nay.
Aye.
Nay.
Nay.
In the opinion of the chair, the nays have it. The bill fails.
Mr. Speaker.
The gentlewoman from the state of
Missouri.
Missouri.
Oh my God, Missouri.
A motion for a recount. I don't know if I don't know if you heard my vote.
Objection.
You don't do recounts on a voice vote.
I mean, okay.
Are you asking for a roll call vote?
Roll call. Yeah, roll call.
Objection.
The gentleman from New York will state his objection.
I think this vote was fair, and we got our point across. And we don't know about this. We don't know about this bill. Okay, we don't trust it.
Read it. Read it.
Okay.
That does not mean you object to
I asked for order.
Jesus Christ.
I asked for order.
Members are reminded to direct their commentary to the chair, not to the other side of the aisle.
I yield.
You take away your objection.
I what?
You take away your objection.
No, it's just the fact that we don't trust this bill.
I second his objection.
Of course you do. Mr. Speaker,
I recommend that you just vote on the objection.
Vote on the objection.
The House will vote on the objection. All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed nay.
No.
Nay.
In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it.
The bill will be reconsidered now.
Fucking crumble.
Yep.
Fine.
All right, someone can motion to either enter debate or enter voting.
Mr. Speaker,
Gentlewoman from the state of Missouri.
I motion that the House
I second.
With a sufficient second, we shall proceed into voting. All in favor say aye. All opposed nay.
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 aye.
In the opinion of the chair, the nays have it.
Hold on.
The bill fails again.
I don't even know what you're saying.
We got the point across. Okay, good.
Point.
Does anybody wish to,
Mr. Speaker.
who said it first?
Mr. Speaker.
Majority
The
Leader.
gentleman from Texas.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, I must begin immediate consideration of House Resolution 125 submitted.
I object.
The gentleman from South Carolina will state his objection.
We have voted on this bill twice. It has failed twice. Let's move on.
Oh, is that
Right
been?
later.
Oh, I withdraw.
I think he meant 126.
Oh, I withdraw my
I motion.
objection.
Wait,
No, Speaker, the still have Mr. Speaker,
The gentleman from Texas.
I motion the House begin immediate consideration of House Resolution 126.
Without objection. So ordered. The clerk will report the bill or resolution.
whoever's editing it, I recommend that you stop editing it at this point because now that would be considered breaking law that you're editing a submitted bill. So just referring that. House Resolution 120. House Resolution 126, Mr. You don't even have it's a written appointment. Never mind. Mr. Krennic of Pennsylvania introduced the following bill, a resolution which was referred to the House for writ of appointment to appoint individuals to serve in the House of Representatives. Section 3, appointment. Under the passage of the resolution, the following individuals shall fill the vacant seats of the House of Representatives until the expiration of the 115th House of Representatives term. David Herschel will fill the vacant seat and represent Pennsylvania's 10th congressional district as a Republican.
Mr. Speaker.
The gentleman from New York.
May I seek recognition? May I seek recognition?
The gentleman from New York is recognized for a period of 10 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think this writ of appointment is pointless. Get it? Because, frankly, David Herschel is a Democrat. He is not a Republican. This makes no sense. To add insult to injury, he just got appointed to the Senate. This makes absolutely zero sense. That a senator who was just appointed to the Senate would somehow go to the lower chamber and become a representative as a Republican instead of Democrat. This makes no sense, and I don't know why the Speaker even suggested this writ of appointment. Where is his sense? Like, where's his common sense at? Because Republicans always talk about common sense, but yet they lack their sense.
Oh.
I yield the remainder of my time, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker,
I
ask
yield.
to recognize.
Mr. Speaker,
I yield the chair to the gentleman from Texas. I'm gonna speak on this bitch. Okay, anyways.
Would the gentleman like to reinsend his? Actually, never mind. You weren't on the record. Never mind.
Yeah.
Do you want me to just?
Mr. Speaker, I motion to table this appointment, writ of appointment.
I object.
We were gonna vote nay on it anyways.
Okay.
Mr. Speaker.
The gentleman from Pennsylvania supports it.
Gentleman from Pennsylvania is recognized.
The gentleman from Pennsylvania.
Just gonna sit right here. I thank all for joining this beautiful house, but I would like to convince and tell everybody why this person was on the agenda. It is because they DM'd me they DM'd me 12/21/2023 at 9:26 p.m. And they DM'd me at 2:51 a.m. today, telling me what they wanted to represent for the writ of appointment. They said Republican, Oklahoma, and 2nd Congressional District. And at the time that I was submitting all the writ of appointments, they changed their mind and they chose to go to the Senate. And that is why. So I encourage everyone to vote nay, so that we don't have to deal with this anymore, so that we can get this over with. And I yield my time back to the chair.
Mr. Speaker, I motion we end the debate session and we move forward to voting session on this writ of appointment.
Janie, can you give me back my seat, my chair? Waiting.
Dick.
Dick Cheney, man.
Later, Dick. Leader Dick to U.S. House.
bro, I think he's sleeping.
Y'all stayed up till 4 a.m. It would make sense.
4 a.m. The fuck?
We did.
Why would he fall
Yeah, we
asleep?
stayed up till
at
4 a.m. making all the bills.
Mr. Cheney, you there?
Leader Cheney.
Mr. Speaker, I just motion we move on and go ahead and motion to vote on.
No. Let me just.
I don't have the
You know
chair
what?
right now.
Mr.
He doesn't have the spirit.
Lovely.
Hold on. Mr. Cheney, get your mic working or I'll just take it over until you get back.
We just go
What
spam ping him.
And this, kids, is why you don't stay up till 4 a.m. doing legislative
Okay.
stuff.
For the sake
We were
of time,
bored.
Mr. Cheney, what was I gonna say?
Can't we motion to remove him from the chair?
No, that's just too much. For the sake of time, Mr. Cheney will be removed from the chair until he arrives back into the chamber. Yeah, he just disconnected either way. So, all right. Yeah, let's just do this. Are there any motions? I'll give it back to you after this.
Mr. Chair, I motion to go into a voting process on this writ of
Are we
amendment.
tabling? Are we tabling it, or are we?
We're
Okay,
gonna
are
go
we
on
tabling this? Voting.
No,
Okay.
voting.
Okay. All right. Let me call the roll. Mr. Cheney. Not here. He died. Mr. Cuomo.
He's back.
Nay.
Okay. Nay. Mr. Ellington. No. Miss Hookstrand. Miss Hookstrand.
Nay.
Nay. Mr. Krennic.
Nay.
Nay. Mr. McCarthy, not here. Mr. Underwood.
Abstain.
Abstain. With the nays being 3, the no votes being 3, and 1 abstention, the resolution does not pass, and the motion to reconsider is made or laid upon the table. I hereby yield the chair back to Mr. Cheney or back to Mr. Krennic, whoever wants to do it. I think Mr. Krennic, since you're done speaking on that. All right.
Okay. Where are we at? Okay. Do we have any motions?
Mr. Cooper.
Repeat that.
Mr. Speaker,
The gentleman from Texas is recognized.
a motion to enter immediate consideration of House Resolution 127.
Any objections? Without objection, so ordered. We shall move into consideration of Bill. What was it? 127?
Mm-hmm.
126, not 127.
126. You all screwed up these numbers horribly. I think.
Yeah, that is a problem. 127 is the Federal Permitting Reform Job Act.
Y'all are gonna have to clarify this. Have you, Han? Just to clarify, you've been taking votes of this, right, and writing them down for which bill is which, because now y'all are screwing up the roll, and I'm now trying to adjust it.
Okay, what happened while I was gone?
We are on to support or HR 126 to support entrepreneurs serving in the National Guard. So I'll just count this 126 and then on entrepreneurs.
We voted on that.
We've already voted on that. Well, we were voting on the writ that I clicked on the HR 126, but you all
No,
kind
we
of
didn't
screwed up.
vote on that yet.
Yeah, we did not vote on that.
Let's vote on that.
This is HR 127.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Apologize.
On, I suggest you put the House in recess or not recess, adjournment for 5 minutes. Actually, yeah, recess for 5 minutes just to fix this for the sake of mentality.
Okay.
Mr. Speaker, I motion for the House to go in recess for 5 minutes.
Do we have a sufficient second?
Yeah, y'all screwed this
A
up.
second.
I second.
The House will be in recess for a period of 5 minutes.
Beepo, 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 beep.
All right, we're not gonna mess around here because I don't want to stay here until 10:30 at night. So HR 1, or we're going from top to bottom. I'm just gonna go by the numbers. So
Yep.
the first bill that you guys passed, was that passed or failed? HR 118 that was passed, right?
Pass.
Passed. Okay. The second one, HR 119, labeled there, was that passed or failed?
Pass.
We voted on that was passed too because that was a duplicate.
Yep.
And then the 122 we failed.
23 didn't pass. 22 and 23 didn't pass.
So, and were those duplicates or no?
No.
No. So okay, so that failed too.
One's the death penalty restrictions, one's the
Okay. 124. Number 7 and 124 did that.
I don't think we voted on that.
We didn't vote on. Or yeah, I don't have a vote for 124, 125. I have 126, so we did not vote on 7 and 8. Number 6 we voted and we failed.
Okay, so
And then
119.
we are on 10 through 24 right now. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right. 21, 22, 23, and 24. Okay, so I got this back in order now. I'll post a whole entire thing for you guys and then get the bill number situated out for you.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank
Yep. You can call the house back into order.
Everyone return to the seats. The house will be in order. Okay, let's see.
We're on label 120 or HR 127, which is number 10 on the agenda.
The gentleman from Texas is recognized.
I motion we enter immediate consideration of Council Resolution 127 submitted earlier today.
Any objections? Without objection, so ordered. We shall move into consideration of Bill 127. The clerk will report the bill.
HR 127 to support entrepreneurs serving in the National Guard and Reserve and for all other for other purposes. In the House of Representatives, Mr. Cheney for himself introduced the following bill, which was referred to the Committee on Small Businesses. Continue.
Mr. Speaker, motion we go into immediate voting session for this bill.
We have a sufficient second.
I second.
I second.
With a sufficient second, we shall move into a period of voting. All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, nay. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The bill is agreed upon.
Okay.
Mr. Speaker,
The gentlewoman from the state of
gentlemen,
gentleman.
Oh,
Hookstrike. Can you mute your mic, please? Like it throws me off when I see like the mic being triggered. Okay, say that again. Was that a Underwood?
yes, sir. Mr. Speaker,
The gentleman from South Carolina is recognized.
I motion we go into immediate consideration of HR 124.
We're in HR 120. Hold on, we're in HR 127 right now. I'm pretty sure.
We haven't voted on those two, 7 or 8 yet.
Yeah, we can go back to those after. Just keep going.
Mr. Speaker, I motion we vote. We go on to HR 128.
I second the motion.
Immediate consideration.
I second.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will report the
Ooh. HR 128 to amend the FAST Act to improve the federal permitting process and for all other purposes. In the House of Representatives, Mr. Cheney introduced the following bill, which was referred to the Committee on Natural Resources.
Mr. Speaker.
the gentleman from Texas.
Motion the House enter period of voting.
Do we have a sufficient second?
Mr. Speaker, I
Second.
With a sufficient second, we shall move into a period of voting. The clerk will report. Will call the roll. Or no,
No, just
all in
I
favor
vote
say
for that.
aye. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed nay. All in favor say aye. Let's go. All opposed nay.
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 Aye. Oh, wait, aye, me, aye. Yeah, me, aye. I didn't hear you the first time. My bad.
In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The bill is agreed.
Yes. Yeah.
Speaker.
Do we have any other motions?
Mr. Speaker.
The gentleman from Texas.
I motion the House enter immediate consideration House Resolution 129.
129.
I second.
Without objection, so ordered. The House will enter consideration of the bill of House Bill 128. The clerk will
129.
report the 129. The
Yep.
clerk will report the bill.
HR 129 to protect the freedom of speech in America's electoral process and ensure transparency in campaign finance in the House of Representatives. Mr. Cheney for himself introduced the following bill, which was referred to the Committee on House Administration.
Mr. Speaker.
The gentleman from Texas, I think.
I motion the House enter period of voting.
Do we have sufficient second?
Mr. Speaker, I second.
With a sufficient second, we shall move into a period of voting. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed nay. In the opinion of the chair,
Abstain.
the aye. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it.
Mr. Speaker, before we begin with the next motion, to my constituents, can you guys please, if you don't hear him the first time, please ask him to say it again, because when all of us vote, and either it's aye or nay, we have these secondary voices saying their vote, and it's messing it up.
You're the one to talk.
So either say your vote when he asks, or just don't say it at all.
You're the one to talk.
The representatives are reminded to direct their commentary towards the chair and not towards the other side of the aisle.
Do we have any other
Mr.
motions?
Speaker. Mr. Speaker,
The gentleman from Texas.
I motion the House begin immediate consideration of House Resolution 130 submitted earlier today.
Without objection, so ordered. Resolution 130. That is the wrong one.
Can I just say that how the hell do you guys jump from HR 129 on a bill to HR 131? We were behind a bill, now we're ahead of bill.
I said 130, not 131.
I know, I'm looking at the bill, I clicked on 130 and it says HR 131. The previous bill was HR 129. Labeled as HR 130. I mean, yo.
Come on, Kenny. Come
We're gonna
on.
fix this. Okay, let me just report this. HR 131 or 130, sorry, to provide a full year appropriations for Indian Health Services in the event of a partial lapse in appropriations and for all other purposes. Mr. Cheney for himself introduced the following bill, which was referred to the Committee on Appropriations. All right, continue.
Mr. Speaker, may I be recognized?
The gentleman from the state of South Carolina is recognized for a period of 10 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I promise I won't take that long. When I saw this bill come to the clerk and I saw it submitted, I was very proud. I'm happy to support this bill as it supports the Native Americans. I've been always I've always supported the protection of Native American burial grounds and the artifacts that are above 50 years old. And this bill is definitely pro that. So props to the other side of the aisle for this creative bill. And I urge my side of the aisle to vote in favor of this, and we can work together. I like this bill. Thank you. I yield my time.
The gentleman yields. Do anybody that else seeks recognition, or are we going to motion to proceed?
Mr. Speaker, I would seek recognition.
The gentleman from Texas.
Just to let all my constituents know, the numbering problem won't happen again, as I most definitely will not be staying up till 6 a.m. doing bills, as I can barely function and think, working off 0 hours of sleep. So, therefore, the numbering problem will not happen again. I hope the clerk next time can actually be online when we submit legislation and do their jobs. I yield the floor. Mr. Speaker.
The gentleman yields.
Mr. Speaker, let me just make a quick comment on that. I'm barely online throughout the day, so that ain't gonna happen.
You're the parliamentarian, not the clerk.
Well, I am both,
The clerk
kind
is
of.
going to enact it.
Well,
The gentleman from Texas is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I motion to enter a period of voting.
Do we have sufficient second?
I second.
With a sufficient second, we shall proceed to voting. All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, nay. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. And the bill is agreed upon.
Yes.
Any more motions?
Mr. Speaker,
The gentleman from New York is recognized.
I motion that the House take up H.R. 0132 and ask for its immediate consideration.
We're skipping over bills.
No, I don't
Jesus
think we are.
Christ.
We're not.
HR 131, number 14. Did we just,
HR
yeah.
131 and
Oh,
HR
never mind.
130 are duplicates.
What did we get on third?
They pass.
Okay, let me read. Alright, let me just duplicate. Alright, well, I'm gonna redo all that numbering again then. Alright, continue.
Okay, Bill, was that consideration before we get sidetracked?
Yes, sir.
Without objection, so ordered. We will now move into consideration of HR 132. The clerk will report the bill.
HR 132 to amend the Internal Revenue Code of 1986 to allow exclusion of gain or loss of like-kind exchanges or virtual currency. Mr. Cheney, for himself, introduced the following bill, which was referred to the Committee on Ways and Means.
Mr. Speaker,
The gentleman from New York.
seeing that there's not much to debate right now, I motion we move into a period of voting.
Do we have a sufficient second?
I second.
I second.
With a sufficient second, we shall move into a period of voting. The clerk will. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay.
Aye.
Nay.
Nay.
Did you change your vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay.
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 Folks Stratton.
I said aye.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and the bill is agreed upon.
Mr. Speaker,
The gentleman from New York.
I motion we take that the House take up HR 133 and ask for its immediate consideration.
HR 33. Without objection, so ordered.
Mr. Speaker, I ask to be recognized.
Was that Hookstrut?
Francis Underwood.
No, that was Francis Underwood.
I keep doing it. Okay, anyways. The gentleman from South Carolina is recognized.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bill insults many, many, many people. Not only does it insult non-Americans, it insults American citizens. The United States of America. I'm going to ask the gentleman from Texas to mute his mic. Thank you. The United States of America is looked upon by third world countries and countries that are in need for humanitarian acts. We have the Red Cross and we have this department for that need. This bill is absurd to eliminate that process. Therefore, I ask both side of the aisles to work with us and maybe deny this bill, and we can come to the table and talk about it and get a little bit more detail on what your thoughts are about this situation. With that, I yield my time.
The
Mr.
gentleman
Speaker.
yields. The gentleman from New York.
I would like to state that I agree with my colleague from South Carolina.
It's not a
That
motion.
I'd like to agree with my colleague from South Carolina that that this bill is completely absurd, and it's also
We're
absurd.
never recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I like that.
The gentleman will yield the parliamentarian stating that the gentleman was never recognized for debate or for his speech.
I was stricken from the record.
Mr. Speaker,
The gentleman from New York is recognized.
I ask to be recognized.
You are
Alright.
recognized.
I would like to state that I agree with my fellow colleague from South Carolina that this bill about the immigration problem is absurd. But it was also absurd that Republicans in general they can't really tell the difference between legal immigration and illegal immigration. Instead, they clump it all together into one big rhetoric. All they basically do is talk about like aliens crossing the border bringing fentanyl or something like that. I mean, I agree with it. Fentanyl is a really bad thing for this country and really bad for our children. However, House Republicans must tell the difference between legal immigrants, people who want to come to this country for a better life. And you need to tell the difference between them and cartels instead of like lumping them together. That's not how it works. That's stereotyping people from the third world countries. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I yield the remainder of my time.
Anybody seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, I seek recognition.
The gentleman from Missouri. Take
Mr. Speaker.
You are recognized.
So, first off, Mr. Speaker, we can't have people attacking us for no reason, clumping us together. But first off, Mr. Speaker, I'd like to publicly state that Us Republicans do not clump stuff up together. We fully understand illegal and legal and attacked by the leader for no certain, because we do realize in illegal, we do not clarify on that. Mr. Speaker, I yield.
Hello?
The gentlewoman yields.
Mr. Speaker, may I be recognized?
Was that Francis?
Yes, sir.
The gentleman from South Carolina is recognized for a period of 5 minutes.
The Department of Health and Human Services, in its name, should define what it's here to do for the United States of America. And in the United States Constitution, it states that we can come together to protect democracy, and with that comes temporarily emergency sheltered for children who are undocumented, because as we both know, that at the United States border, we do have an immigration crisis that we need to solve, and some of these problems that United States citizens are seeing are families being stripped away. And so, with that being said, emergency shelters are needed, and we shouldn't look at it as if they're unaccompanied or not, but as if they're helped, and as if they're protected, as if they're safe and they're looked after. So I urge my constituents to vote nay on this bill or a motion to table it, and we can come back to speak about this bill later. With that, I yield my time. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to read recognition.
Gentleman yields, and the representative from Texas is recognized for a period of 5 minutes.
Fellow colleagues. So, from what I'm hearing, it appears that colleagues on the other side would like to either fail this bill or table it, which is not a great decision. So, let's see, we have immigrants, aliens, as we call them, jumping across our border, raiding our country, illegally into our country, and yet we don't want to stop them with this bill. So,
Point of information.
The gentleman will state his point of information.
From you to the speaker, by illegal immigration, are you just saying illegal immigrants? Because there are going to be people out there who are trying to get into this country legally.
So people jumping across the border is legal?
No, I'm just asking you, are you talking about legal or illegal immigration? Because there's groups of immigrants that want to come to this country for a better life. However, you're trying to make it. No, you're trying to make it. You're trying to make it sound. You're trying to make it so where you're just saying the bad part about illegal immigration, which yes, there are some bad parts, but
That's
no. You're just
Order.
all you're doing is just saying illegal immigrants, but using vague language. Vague language.